So the business value of the GHG inventory, global warming and climate change have come to the fore as a key sustainable development issue. So focus is very much on that. Many governments are taking steps to reduce the emissions through national policies that include the introduction of emissions trading programs, voluntary programs, carbon and energy taxes, and regulation and standards on energy efficiency and emissions. Now, it's a long sentence and quite complicated, but I think over the last few years, everybody's expectations about carbon trading is you can be dirty, plant some trees. And many people believe that in terms of the protocol, that's what it means. You can continue to discharge carbon elements to the atmosphere as long as you plant a tree, as long as you offset it. And in fact, you can even go and buy some land in Mongolia and plant 1 million trees, and that allows you to be dirty. And I think now what we're seeing is that's not the case. I mean, there is a corporate responsibility now that says offsetting without responsibility to reduce is not going to be an acceptable methodology going forward. So as a result, companies must be able to understand and manage their GHG risks if they are to ensure long-term success in a competitive business environment and be prepared for future national and regional climate policies. Now, as we stand today, on the 20th of January, it's all about self-regulation. In a year's time, it may be all about mandatory reporting. So companies have to, as part of their corporate responsibility, have a robust plan in place and be implementing that plan now. Otherwise, they, as an entity, will be behind the line and less competitive. So to do that, they need a well-designed and maintained corporate GHG inventory that can serve several business goals, including managing the risk and identify reduction opportunities. So it's no good just measuring. You must say, this is where we are. We use diesel vehicles in our fleet, or we have a huge amount of waste in storage. You must manage it. You must put a plan to reduce. And that plan can be a 10-year plan, but it must be a plan and it must be implemented. It must be measurable. Public reporting and participation in voluntary GHG programs. Again, and this is all about being seen to be doing something. Doing something is fine, but you must be measured against it and it must be reported. And you must participate in mandatory reporting programs. In the UK, that system is in place as of 2019. All mid and large companies must report their GHG impact and their proposal to reduce that. And then, of course, you can participate in GHG markets where discharges cannot be reduced to zero, very difficult. So they must then offset that impact of that activity with some form of sequestration stuff. So we're talking carbon capture, we're talking trees. But the two things have to go hand in hand. You cannot be a dirty industry from a GHG point of view and simply try and offset it, because it's just not economical and it's not ethical. And the recognition for early voluntary action is very important. Again, within the last 6 months, we've seen the industry has turned from one that laughed about GHG and that nice Swedish girl to one where the youth of today and the 20-somethings are now, it's in their vocabulary that this is where the way the future is going. It's no longer something that can be ignored. It's no longer quirky or a side issue. It's not a nice to have. It's something that's going to drive business planning going forward.